What's going on, everybody? All right, this is the final piece to the 64 Fairlane rear of the car. This is the fold down part for the gas tank, to like put gas in the car. You can see where I've got the marker. That's obviously my worst spots. Well, and then I'll go back over and I'll get the scratches and stuff out of it before polishing. But you can see how deep that dent is. And then you can see that dent right there. All right, so I took my paint stick with some 400 grit rolled up on it, used that like as a block, and lightly sanded over, and you see how far out the affected area is. So on this big dent in the back, you can see it. I'll take my hammer and I'll just slowly work my way around until I get it tapped down as flush as I can. All right, so as you can see, if you watch the reflection in it, I have got the majority of the big dent knocked down. So now what I'll do is take and lightly scuff over this, and that will show me how much I have raised up. Now you can see after lightly sanding over it, it has raised some of the perimeter of the dent up, but it's still got some low spots. And you can see in the light, the reflection. Now it's kind of turned into 3 little spots. Got it there, there, and then there's a spot right there. So now I've got this solid piece of steel as a flat area. I'll take and lay that'll get it up off the table. And then I'll be able to lightly peck down until it touches the steel, and that'll help get this area flatter. All right, so I took and lightly tapped around the area. You can see the real light hammer marks. Aluminum is very easy to work with. It's very soft naturally, but you can get some really strong aluminum also, but this stuff here is soft. One thing that you want to remember is when you've got it down on a flat block, when there's a raised spot in the aluminum and you're pecking it, you can hear, you can tell that there's an air pocket between the base metal and this. When it taps down and touches, you need to stop and move around, because if you continue to beat in one spot, what that'll do is stretch that area, and then it will make it a bubble on the other side, and then you've got some major problems. If you can gain access to the back of your panel like this, I took this block and I sanded the back side. You can see this is high. You can see the areas that are high, and then you can also see the areas that are still low. If it's high back here, that means that it's low on the other side. All right, you can see the big section. I have beat it out, smoothed it up, sanded it, and then I reapplied some marker. But you can see right in here and right here, it's still low. Watch the light and you see the reflection. But the big section of it, even though it's under the marker, you can see that it's smooth. All right, so I sanded over the big area and you can see the low spots. And then if you look in the low spot, you'll see some little bitty high spots. That's where my hammer edge has hit, and it's not high, but it's higher than the low. It's probably about the same height as the other section that I have fixed. All right, so you can see where I have done my packing and fixing the dent on the back. There is the finished product on the front. The dent is gone. If you'll follow the shadow of the light, you can see once it's polished up, it'll look good. Now all I gotta do is just fix this area right in here, which won't be so bad because the lower spots of those ribs are supposed to be painted black anyway. But this was the main section to beat out. Just take your time. It can be done. It can be done in metal, stainless, anything. It just takes time. Aluminum's the easiest to work with, but it's more fragile too. You You can see on the back side all the little peck marks from where I slowly worked around and got it out. But here's another area that I found when I was going through to scuff it all up. All right, so we got the big dent out, and then we got the dents out through here, and then the dents that was through here. You see on the back side where the damage was at, right along in there on the ends. So now it's ready to just step it up. This is up to 400 grit. So now I'll step it on up. I'll stop it probably around 2,000. It don't take long to scuff it up, and then I'll polish it. All right, I got this piece sanded, 400, 800, 1,200, 2,000. And I'll take this polish right here and get it cleaned up.